outperforming today, led by Oracle, which hit an all-time high. But under the surface, there are some winners and losers. So check out the 3-month performance of the tech hardware versus software. Hardware's up 11% and software up just 2%. So joining us now is Tony Wang, Rowe Price, Science and Tech Equity Strategy Portfolio Manager. Tony, it's great to have you back on. I'm just going to paint a juxtaposition here in what we've seen so far this week. You had Apple with its event and Apple Intelligence yesterday. You had Oracle with its earnings. It does seem like there is a very different adoption curve playing out, at least right now, between the CEOs and enterprises that are willing to spend money on adopting AI versus consumers where, at least right now, maybe a little more caution, maybe it'll take a little longer. How do you invest? Is that the right thesis?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a key question that everybody's trying to wrestle with. You know, in terms of Apple, I think that we'll see how the AI features roll out, but the potential and opportunity for an upgrade cycle is definitely pretty big for them. A lot of people have a pretty old iPhone that can get upgraded, and if you've got the right AI features, you know, it'll be pretty compelling. I think that what we saw from the event is that it probably will be a little bit more of a phased-out approach versus a bunch of the AI features immediately available at once. And, you know, I think that what we saw from Oracle is pretty exciting. I mean, I think that Oracle specifically has something pretty idiosyncratic going on in that they're emerging as a fourth cloud player. And I think that they've got a pretty impressive technology stack that has advantageous software as well as networking. And so I think that you're seeing them really build that out. We're seeing a lot of traction there. So I think there's different dynamics going on with each company, but you know, in terms of like how consumers are embracing it versus enterprise demand, there are a little bit cross currents there.
So we've teased you coming on as you're going to talk to us about this rotation, this broadening out that we've seen in the market, not just across sectors, but across tech. When you start to exclude the Magnificent Seven on a day where ServiceNow is at an all-time high too, we just spoke to Bill McDermott. Where do you see opportunities in the cloud space or in the software space where there has been underperformance this year?
Yeah, I think that's pretty natural in the kind of market cycle. You generally have like a small group of companies leading us out, and then you get a broadening as there's more things that are investable. And so, you know, when I think about where there's some opportunity, like software has been, as you pointed out earlier, a little bit of laggard. And so I think we're seeing Workday kind of find a little bit more traction there. There's a big margin opportunity, and we've got an interesting opportunity there where they can really kind of increase their returns. And I think we'll look forward to the Analyst Day coming up. I think there's other idiosyncratic movers like FICO, for example, where there's a pricing opportunity where they're able to like achieve more value for their products. And so there is a little bit of broadening out, I think. And then there's also like these kind of macro depressed kind of areas like IT services that have gotten, you know, perhaps like a little bit more traction in terms of their fundamentals really bottoming. And so, you know, I think it's an exciting time for the market and for active management.
Tony, when it comes to smaller software names in particular, like I'm looking at MongoDB, it's trading where it was in late 2020, early 21. Even Samsara we had on a few days ago, doing really well, and it just sort of broke above 40 and looks like it might stay there. It's almost as if some of these smaller software stocks are trading as if we're in the mid-2000s and people don't know what the next catalyst is going to be. If you believe that AI has broad, far-reaching implications, are some of these industry-focused smaller software companies priced well?
Yeah, well, I think IoT, specifically Samsara, I mean, they're growing really fast. And so it's impressive that they are growing at that rate. They've sustained it. They've continued to deliver on multiple quarters there. We like the company long term. And they're also in a relatively underpenetrated area of industrial equipment monitoring. And so from that perspective, I think that is right. And they've been executing for a while, too. It's not like you know, that's particularly anything new, but I agree. There's definitely things outside of the Mag 7 that are interesting, and especially at a time where Mag 7 earnings are kind of, you know, perhaps like not growing as much as they were a year ago.